beautiful people, and welcome to this week's video. My name is Philippa and I am a yoga teacher. I teach in Mid Wales in the UK. So if you like what I'm doing and you would like to know more about me, then you can contact me through the email at the beginning and the end of the video. Also, if you like what I'm doing, please do give me a thumbs up, subscribe, make a comment even, and that's really helpful. So over the next 12 weeks, I'm going to be making 12 videos which are concerned with the Yamas. So the Yamas are part of the 8 limbs of yoga. So the Yamas are made up of ahimsa, which is to do with non-harming, non-violent, can't say. Satya, which is to do with truthfulness and being honest. Asteya, which is to do with non-stealing. Brahmacharya, which is to do with, they call it celibacy, but it's to do with kind of keeping things within. And finally, aparigraha, which is to do with non-greed, so only taking what you need. In this lesson we're going to be just working with some very simple asanas and just looking at those 5 different things as we go through the practice. So we're going to begin, as we normally do, by just sitting in a very comfortable seat. So a chair is fine to begin with if that's more comfortable for you. And as we breathe out, we're just feeling ourselves rooting down through the ground. As we breathe in, feeling yourself sitting up, rising up through the crown. So you've got these 2 poles apart, gently being drawn down into the earth and also gently being raised up into the sky, and being aware of the natural breath gently moving in and out through the nose. Lovely. So we're going to begin by just making some very gentle movements. So I'm going to invite you to raise your arms up. So as we're doing this, just think about how gentle you can be on yourself, but still really being in clarity. So being gentle, not doing anything that hurts or that feels uncomfortable, but at the same time really taking your arms to as full a place, as full a stretch as they can comfortably go. So this is this sense of ahimsa, non-harming. So being gentle on yourself and others, being kind to yourself and others. But at the same time doing your best. That's what we're doing. Beautiful. So this time, when we come up to the top, we're going to look between the hands, and then as we come down, we're going to do a twist. So opposite hand to knee, the other hand out behind. And as we're here, we're going to raise up. So really feel yourself rising up through the crown. And then as you exhale, taking yourself a little bit deeper into the twist. We're going to come back round. So raising the arms up, looking between the hands. And we can see this is a place of like truthfulness and honesty, being really stretching up, looking between the hands. So this is where we get the satya. Coming down, we're going to go the other way. And again here, raising up through the crown on the inhale, and then as you exhale, going a little bit deeper into the twist. Coming back round. And we're going to come back into this place. So we're being gentle on ourselves, but we're doing what we can. And then we're going to try and be upright here. Honesty, truthfulness. And coming back down. So within truthfulness, I see a sense of integrity as being a part of that. That when we are moving in the world among other people, that we're doing what feels really right and honest for us. And this comes from a place of integrity. So over our practice, we can try and see if we can really be with ourselves in a gentle way, but also really doing our best, really doing what feels right. Lovely. So now we're going to come up with the arms coming straight out in front, and then I'm going to invite you to take some rolls of the wrists, but also really stretching through the fingers, going one way, and then we'll swap and go in the other direction. Lovely. Then we're going to bring the arms out to cactus arms, and again we can see this as a place of strength here, which we can see as being truthful and in integrity. And then we're going to bring the arms together. Now this can be quite challenging for some people, so just making sure that you're doing what's right for you, being gentle on yourself, only going to where feels right. Coming out again. And we're going to see if we can take the elbows back as far as we can without hurting ourselves. And then exhale, bringing the elbows together. Wonderful. And then the hands come down. So we're going to work with the shoulders now, just rolling the shoulders here. So one of these things that we're going to work with, one of these yamas, is about non-stealing. That's the one that is austere. And you know, it's kind of about honesty, isn't it? You know, only having what belongs to you, so not needing what somebody else has got. So we're going to inhale the arm up, and we're going to come over into a side bend. So just take the hand out, the lower hand, upper hand coming up, reaching through that top finger, trying to be in integrity with yourself, and then looking up under the armpit. And we'll come round and we'll go the other way. So this austere thing, this thing about non-stealing, it's not only about physical things, but it's also about how sometimes you can feel like somebody is kind of taking your energy somehow. I don't know if you've ever been in that experience, in that place where you felt that somebody is like overriding you or not listening to you or something. This in a way is about stealing somebody else's energy. It's really important to be staying in your own energy. So I've turned around to the side so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. We're going to do some seated cat and cow. So what we're doing is we're going to inhale and look slightly up and bring the navel as far forward as you can. And then as you exhale, we're taking the navel back as far, if you're in a chair, you're taking it back towards the back of the chair as you can, and looking down between the knees here. Inhaling, coming forwards, looking up to the sky, bringing the navel forwards. Exhale, coming down. So we'll do a couple of those in your own time. So the fourth yama, which they call brahmacharya, is the way that they express it in India is to do with chastity, but actually it's kind of not, that's not really so relevant in our society. So in our society, this can be seen in the context of observances rather than chastity. So this sense of doing, you know, taking into your body what is good for you, rather than kind of just, you know, taking anything, that eating food that doesn't isn't healthy. So come back to the front because we're going to be doing something else now. So imagine your belly button here, and we're going to, so what we were doing was taking it forward and taking it backwards. So from the middle here, we're going to see if we can take it to the side, come back to the middle and take it to the other side, and then come back to the middle, and then we're going to see if we can do all of those and make it into a circle. So bring it forwards first, looking up, then take it to the side, then take it to the back, then take it to the other side. And so you begin to make circles, and your head is kind of doing the sort of opposite. Beautiful. And then we can go back the other way. Lovely. And then coming back to a neutral position. I'm going to invite you now to come and join me in all fours. So from here, we've done cat and cow, so we're not going to go into that. What we're going to do is we're going to begin to make some organic movements with the body here. So this is basically taking the spine for a walk, just doing whatever feels good for you, and going into places maybe that you haven't been to for a while. And so this is really like a flow. It's like an organic place of seeing if you can move the hips and the shoulders and all of the spine and the neck and the head, even coming right forward. Beautiful. And then when you feel like you've done that enough, we're going to put the big toes together, knees out a little bit to the side, and dropping the bottom back onto the heels if that feels good, and you can drop the head down. So the head can come onto the hands if that's good, or onto the floor. You can bring the hands back behind you if that feels good. Just doing whatever's right for you. And we'll take some big breaths here, so breathing in and then sigh out. So from here, we're going to bring one foot forwards. It doesn't really matter which one you do. And then we're coming into the dragon. So I've got one hand either side of this foot. Just going to take a moment now. I'm going to invite you to see if you can lift the toes up. And as you put them down, see if you can splay them out. And then we're going to lift the heel up. You might have to come up onto the tippies of your fingers. And then put the heel down. And then we're going to move the body back, coming into the half splits, which is something we quite often do. And then rolling back on the heel to open the back of the hamstring here. And from here we can drop the head down. Feel how that opens the back of the hamstring again. And then we're going to come forward, and then from here I'm going to invite you to bring both hands inside of this foot and take that foot, I'm on the wrong side for you to see really, but I'm taking the toes of that foot out to the side a bit. And what I'm going to try and do is to see if I can drop this hip down onto the ground. So I'm turning my back to you a little bit. I've got this hand on my knee and I'm going to look behind me. This is a really good stretch. You can always bring that hand round to the back, bring it into a bind, or there is fine. And this is lovely for the outside edge of the lower leg and ankle here. Beautiful. And then come back to all fours for a moment, and we'll do it on the other side. So you bring the other foot forwards into your dragon pose, lifting up the toes, and then see if you can splay them out as you drop them down. Lifting up the heel for a moment, and then put that heel down. and then coming back into your half split. So moving the body back, keep the toes down for a moment, and then rolling back on the heel, and then drop the head, opening that hamstring. And we're going to roll back forwards onto that foot, and this is where we're going to turn the toes out to the side. You can see them on this side. And again, see if you can drop. So I can't drop my bottom all the way down. Some people can. Just come to where you can. And then, as I say, either hand on the leg, looking behind you, or if you want to, you can bring that into a bind. You can kind of let this ankle open at the side here. I can really feel it here and down here. It's a lovely opening. Wonderful. And then we'll come back and have another moment in the child. So dropping back. Beautiful. So we're going to come back through all fours here. Sun ray fingers. Tuck the toes, and we're going to come gently up into a dog. So remembering our ahimsa about being gentle, doing what's okay for us, but also being honest, our austere. So not trying to push your body into something that isn't comfortable. For me, I've got a bit of a neck and shoulder issue going on at the moment, so I'm having to really adapt myself. This is not my normal dog shape. I'm just doing what I can. Knees are nice and bent. I'm not trying to push my shoulders down too much because that would hurt, so I'm just being truthful about what my body can do, and I'm being kind to myself. So I'm going to now start to walk the dog, so taking opposite heels down, bending the other leg. Beautiful. So if this is too much on your wrists, then come down and rest. Otherwise, we're doing this for a little bit, and then we're going to come into a gentle place of stillness. Breathing in and out gently through the nose. And then we can come down again. And I'm going to invite you now to walk back into your version of the toe squat. So if sitting, I've got my toes are tucked under here. If sitting on the heels like this just feels too difficult, then you can come up and just take some weight back into the heels. So just doing whatever's right for you here. Beautiful. So from here, I'm going to invite you to come down into a seated position. So I'm going to sit my bottom on this soft block, and what I'm going to invite you to do is to bring your legs out wide like this. Now, I can't take my legs as wide as some people, and there are other people who will be like this. So just doing what's right for you. And we're trying to have, it really what your legs look like and your feet look like depend on what your hip joints are like. So, you know, we all have very different bodies. So you don't feel like, for me, I need to have my toes coming out to the side a bit like that. If I try and put them up to the going straight up, I can really feel it in my hips. So just working with what's right for you here and getting yourself really comfortable. And we're going to bring the hands, it may be that it's difficult to bring the hands to the ground, in which case having a block or a book or something here is fine. So we've got a straight back here, and we're just going to see if we can walk the hands forward a little bit, keeping the back straight to begin with. And while we're here, we're going to think about the third of these yamas, which is the thing about non-stealing. So non-stealing. Obviously, non-stealing is to do with not taking what doesn't belong to you. And that's very important, that we're not, you know, trying to take something of somebody else's. I see this as well as being to do with generosity and to do with integrity again, that word coming up again. And this is to do not just with physical things, but also with kind of energetic thing. So not trying to kind of feed off somebody else's light, almost, as it were. So trying to just be within yourself and really honouring other people, being generous with other people. Yeah. So we can walk over to the side, and we're now bringing our chest so it's over the this knee. I've still kind of got my back straightish. So looking at the toes, and then we can just see if we want to let the head drop, just bringing the body over the leg a little bit. It may not go, you may be up here, and that's fine. Just be doing what you can do, being gentle and honest with yourself. And then we'll walk all the way back through, come to the other side. So I've got my chest over the other leg here, and it might be very different on each side. It is for me. So again, if you're up here, that's absolutely fine. Just doing what you can, dropping the head down. If you can come a little bit further, then just doing whatever's right for you. Some people might have their head right down on the leg. And breathing here as you drop down. Wonderful. And then we'll come back through centre. And here I'm going to invite you now to just see if you can allow your body to drop down any further. Some people will be able to come with elbows on the ground. I can't do that, but just seeing what you can do. Dropping the head, letting the head go. And feeling whatever's going in the legs. Really being with your body. Wonderful. So from here we're going to come do the same thing, but we're going to do it with the legs together. So we're going to have the feet going out to the front, toes flexing towards the body. And you can always have a belt here if you want, if it's easier. So I've got my back straight and I'm just coming forwards, keeping the back straight. Belt is good. If you can touch your toes with your back still straight, then that's great. If not, if you're here, that's great as well. So it's exactly the same thing, but it's different because we've got the legs out in front. So we're now just going to drop the body down. And again, it's fine to have the knees bent if having them straight feels impossible. And as we breathe, we're going to drop down into Paschimottanasana, which means seated forward bend. So from here, we're going to do something slightly different now. We're going to bend one knee, so you're bringing it right up as high as you can against the body. And it might be that you're like that, and that's absolutely fine. Just coming to where you can. And then you can either have your arm around this leg, or if you feel like you can take it around the back, like this. I mean, some people can take it further than me. So this leg is opening a little bit, but you're trying to have it as close to the body as you can. Flexing through the other foot, both this foot with the sole flat on the ground, this foot, the toes flexing towards me. And this is beautiful for opening the back of the shoulder here. And then from here, again, we're doing, this is another forward bend. So see if you can just take the head down, dropping down, and it's just a very different kind of forward bend. Really being with yourself, thinking about those yamas, non-harming, truthfulness, and non-greed, non-stealing, observances, so really being aware of what you're taking in and taking out of your body. And then we can come through to the other one, doing exactly the same. So either having your hand around the knee and coming forwards, or if you feel like you can take it in the bind around there, then that's fine. And then dropping forward, and it'll probably feel very different on each side. It does for me. Yeah. So non-greed is a big one in our society. You know, we're in this society that's very materialistic. You know, we really want things in our lives. It's really good to just think about what you really need, taking what you need and not more. Beautiful. So now I'm going to invite you to come and find your way up into a standing pose. So we're going to start in our Tadasana, so feet hip width apart, and let's just begin by bringing some big circles into the arms. Twice one way and twice the other way. Beautiful. Lovely. And then I'm just going to invite you to come and push into your toes here, and we're going to sort of take some circles pushing into the toes with the feet, one way and then the other way, and then we'll do it with the other foot. So push it down into the toes, really pushing the knee forwards, and then coming round a few circles, that really opening all of the toes, pushing them into the ground. And then we can bring the arms out to the side for a bit of ballast. If you need a chair or something to balance, then bring one into the room. And we're going to just enlarge those circles, taking the whole leg around in circles. And then do that with the other one. So a couple of times one way and then back round the other way. Beautiful. Just mobilising the hip. And then from here, we're going to come up. I'm going to invite you to come up onto tiptoes, really reaching through the fingers. And this is where we can tune in again to that place of integrity, that place of honesty. So balance is a really good place to try and tune into that. What is really honest and truthful to me in my life? How can I be more honest? How can I be more in integrity? And so the last thing that we're going to do is we're just going to do a little sequence with some warrior postures. And this is just tuning into this sense of gentle, non-harming. So we're going to be doing warrior one, peaceful warrior, and humble warrior. So we're going to start at the back of the mat in our Tadasana. I'm going to invite you to take, well, I'm doing the right foot, you can do whichever one you like, but so it's going right out to the edge, to the side of that mat, and then take the other foot, take it back a little bit, and before you put the heel down, come right up onto the heel, so the hips and the shoulders are facing forwards, and then drop the heel down. So that will mean that the heel will come in a little bit probably, and then make sure that your front knee is nice and bent so you can just see your big toe. Looking forward to begin, arms coming down, but really, so we're rooting down through the feet and really rising up through the crown. And then from here we're going to raise the arms up and look up between the hands, really feeling that place of strength and integrity. And then from here we're going to bring this is my opposite arm, so my left arm. I'm going to take it like a cartwheel behind me, take it all the way down to touch the back leg, but I'm still looking up at the top arm. This is Peaceful Warrior. And then I'm going to turn my head to look down at the back heel. This is still Peaceful Warrior, but it's just slightly different. So now I'm going to bring this arm all the way back, take it all the way up behind, and bring it back up to join the one here. And then I'm going to take them both down to interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, shining the chest forward, looking up. And then as we exhale, taking our arms as far away as you can from the body. I can't take them very far. And we're coming forward, pivoting from the hips, coming down into our humble warrior. So then we can come up again gently and let go of the hands, and we can just come back to the back of the mat. So we'll do it on the other side now. So take the other foot out along, so it's at the side of the mat. Take the other foot out so it's on the other side, raising up onto the toes, and then dropping back down onto the heel. So the heel will come in a bit, but both feet are definitely pointing forwards from here. We've got this nice solid base. Taking the hands down, rooting through the feet, stretching through the fingers, rising up through the crown. And then we're going to inhale, bringing the arms up into our warrior one. Beautiful. Exhale, we're going to take that other hand down behind to touch the back leg, but still looking up at the top arm. Inhaling here. And then we're going to exhale and look down at the back heel. Inhale, we're going to bring this arm all the way back to join the other one back into warrior one. And then exhale, bringing the hands down to interlace behind the fingers, but this time interlace them the awkward way. So the opposite way to you did before. And then inhale and shining the heart forwards, opening the arms, taking them away from you and down. And then exhale, we're going to pivot from the hips, coming forwards into our humble warrior. Beautiful. And then gently rising up and finding our way back to our Tadasana. So I'm going to invite you to come and lie down on your back into semi-supine, but with the arms out to the sides, knees bent, heels behind the bottom. And we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, take the knees down to one side. It doesn't matter which way you go. And look over the other arm. Couple of breaths there. And then we're going to raise the knees up to the top. And exhaling, taking the gaze one way, the knees the other way. So you can either do that exactly the same as we've just done, or you can come back up to the top and cross one leg over the other and then continue that movement. It's the same thing, but it's just a little bit stronger. So do what's right for you. Tune into your honesty about your body. And then coming up, and we'll go the other way. So just making sure that what you're doing is in your best interest, that you're not causing yourself any harm. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to invite you from here to bring the knees up into the chest, take hold of them with the hands and have a little rock around on the back and do whatever you want to do. You might want to come up into a happy baby or a bridge pose or something. Just do whatever suits you, and then when you're ready, you can drop the legs and the feet down, feet about mat width apart, and just let the feet drop to the sides, arms down by the sides of the body, palms facing up, closing the eyes or lowering the gaze. And we're going to be here for a couple of minutes. You can hear the beautiful music playing as we rest. So don't move just because I do. If you want to stay here for longer, please do. This is the most important pose of the whole practice. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the practice. As I said, this is the first of 12 videos. So, you know, we're going to be unrolling lots and lots about this beautiful Yamas. And also, like I said, if you like what I'm doing and you would like to have more information, perhaps come and join me for live classes online, then you can contact me via the email at the beginning and the end of the video. And the same as well if you would like to make a donation. And thank you to everybody who has been donating. I really appreciate it. Namaste.